sort of an emergency vlog is what it is, really. No, I'm actually just doing a quick one here. I got a couple things in the mail. Changed my intro a bit, as you can see. So here we are. Fragile. Handle with care. So this is something from Discogs. I'm not 100% sure what it is, actually. We will see shortly. The unboxing. The unboxing. Alright, so here it is. Yes, just as I thought. As I suspected. It is, in fact, the first Soft Machine LP. Self-titled Soft Machine. And so this is interesting. Now, there was a censored cover and an uncensored cover. So firstly we have, okay, it is the cover that has the spinning wheel. Okay, so that was intact. Let's see, how do you do it? Oh, right here, of course. So the wheel is right here. I think it did say something about it's not spinning so great. Is that the problem? Is that the problem? Maybe I shouldn't even spin it. Yeah, it's split on the top. Now these things, I'll tell you what. This copy was expensive. Now it's split a little bit on the top. It's got a split on the top. I'm not going to try to turn the wheel. You can see that the wheel turns, okay? Oh, is this what they censored? And then so the inside is censored where she is like wearing a bikini on the US releases, apparently. This is a UK first pressing of the first Soft Machine LP. And that's what they censored? Wow. I mean, that's just... Yeah, so there's some kind of inner sleeve. Oh, here's what they censored. They censored that, and then they also censored her there, I suppose. She's not even, it's not even frontal. Wow. So this is an uncensored version. Gatefold. Split seam. Okay. Somewhat rough condition. Not bad condition though. Really. And then of course, we're going to have to get that in a good sleeve very soon. And then of course, here's the vinyl. I mean, you don't really want to see that. There it is. So yeah, okay. So that's a pretty good, that's a nice version of that. I'm digging that. Cool. Soft Machine, the first Soft Machine LP. I also have Third and Fifth. Really good prog rock band. And I even, you know, I had gotten their first, the first LP of theirs that I got was Fifth. And I had heard of Soft Machine. I had an idea of what they were about. Anyway, at least that they were some kind of rock band. And I was looking in records, after I'd heard their first record, I thought, well, these guys are free jazz, you know. There's a lot of horns. It sounded like just straight free jazz. I didn't see him in the rock section, and I couldn't find him in the jazz section. Then I asked a record store guy that owned the record store, I said, where do they file these guys? Oh, well, you know, rock, and like I was some kind of idiot, but you know, they're that record at least, and even Third really is pretty, you know, in the free jazz fusion certainly vein, I guess. But Fifth sounds just like free jazz. And so anyway, I have the first one that I showed you with the gatefold and the wheel. This one is their very first and seminal, apparently, as far as, you know, future influence that they have on other artists. Okay, so if you ever see this record in a record store, in any kind of condition, get it. This right here. This is not easy to find. You know, I could have paid a lot more for, like, you know, without the seam splits and stuff. But I figured I'll get a lot. There's a lot of copies that are uncensored, or that are censored then, okay? So she has a bikini, but then there are others that aren't gatefold, and they also don't have the wheel. So when you have, you know, all the things, uncensored UK, wheel, turning, spinning. There, people sell copies that don't have the wheel as well. This was pretty, this was down near the bottom on Discogs. If you're familiar with Discogs, what happens is it'll say, there are this many, you'll find what you want. There will be sort of a release page describing it in general, and then it'll say, you find the copy, the issue that you want, and the first thing that pops up is there's a little thing that says, however many copies, starting at this price. So that's like the lowest that they're going for, right? So those are always the really thrash copies and that sort of thing. And you go there, you say, starting at $13.99. Well, that's for a completely destroyed copy without a cover. And as you go on from there, they go up to $150, say. Well, that's kind of how this one was. Mine was lower down, but it was right in the middle of a couple other ones that were bad copies with, they didn't sound, there's crackle in the record, and, it's missing the wheel and this sort of thing. This thing was completely intact with a good condition record. The seam split, but it was reasonably priced, whereas the next one up was like $60, I think. And that was for, it was in better condition, obviously, but I didn't really feel like paying $60. So I compromised and paid a little bit of money and got a great record that I'll never find in a record store around here. I mean, I guess it's possible, certainly, but that would be strictly on a fluke. And so we also now have the second package, if you want to see what this one looks like. Okay, see, it's kind of different than the other one. So here we are, the unveiling. I honestly what record did I get? Which record did I get? I'm not remembering. I am not. And so it must be... this is what it is. Now I am remembering. It is, in fact, yes it is. Indeedy it is. Yep. Replacement Stink. This has arrived in the mail. Okay, so Replacement Stink. This is a 4th pressing, I believe. So what happened was, you see how this thing looks? What they did at first, when they first released them, is they hand stamped these with different color stamps, with a lot of different colored, however many. Each one was different because they stamped them individually. And so it would, everyone was different up to a certain point. Then what happened? Then they did something to run out those sleeves. So there were some different colors involved with a few different pressings. And by the time that you got the pressings were about 1,000 each, I believe. And so finally, when they got to so that was in 1982. And then by 1986, when I got, which this one is from, what happened was they just decided to go with a pre-printed sleeve to run out the sleeves. So they'd pre-ordered some kind of sleeve. I don't know if they had to go get them printed, if they're blank sleeves and then you get them printed, or if they were pre-printed sleeves that they had left over. I'm not sure. You can go read the Discogs page. But by 1986, they were just going with a pre-printed sleeve. So this is a 4th pressing, pre-printed Replacement Stink sleeve. And here it is, the record from 1986, and it's in really good condition. Wow. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's on Twin Tone Records once again, which Twin Tone is the local Minneapolis record company that bands the Replacements were on. I don't think, Husker Du, which is another Minneapolis band, I don't think they were ever on Twin Tone. So anyway, these are the most 2 recent records that I got. These are 2 hard to find things. If you ever saw Stink, God, if you saw a hand printed Stink sleeve anywhere, wow, I would be amazed if anyone ever did. It's too bad, but so that's what I have for you today. I don't really see anything else laying around that I really need to discuss. That's recent kinds of purchases. So do I have anything to just kind of throw in there for you? Well, I did get a repressing of Rage Against the Machine's The Battle of Los Angeles. And when I saw this at first at the Metavinyl, the record store, at the record swap, he had this and another Rage Against the Machine record. And at first I thought, oh, they're from the 90s. They're going to be original pressings. But no, they were repressed in 2010. I never was a really huge Rage fan, but you know, now that it's all in the past, I sort of like appreciate it more somehow. Here's a weird record. Okay, this is something strange. I'm just going to throw this one in, and not to get too long and tedious on you. But this was a staff recommendation, and usually they can be pretty good. And this is Tom Wilson, All-American Boy. Now, I don't know if you can see these photos on the cover of this record, which is called Tom Wilson, All-American Boy. So there he is sort of on the cover. This guy, apparently that's Tom Wilson, I'm assuming. There he is on the cover, and he's doing some weird stuff. Well, you know, just, I guess things that like a boy would do, even though he is a grown man with a mustache. And then on the back, it's kind of showing him, you know, his recording kind of a setup, I guess. So that shows that he's, you can see that his home studio, and it looks like they're kind of working on something. So that shows that he is a serious artist, apparently. So I started to listen to this. So as always, you know, I've been waiting for these right here. I want to show them again. These things. We've got Stink and The Soft Machine, their first record. Can you see what's up there up there behind my shoulder? Take a look. Take a look, Santa Cruz Mafia. Record Mafia. I thwarted the Mafia. I can't discuss it here. And then I couldn't find this record I was like, where did that thing go? It's Milt Jackson. On the Vibes. Milt Jackson. Blue Note. This is some kind of original Blue Note. It sure looks like it. This is laying around. This is something I bought. Never listened to. $20. I couldn't even find it. I saw that it was on my Discogs page, and I was like, well, wait. I bought that. Anyway. And so, as always, like, please, and subscribe.